If I told you there was a pill that you could take that study after study showed it could enhance performance, endurance, mental acuity, help with your pain tolerance, help you lose weight, help with muscle growth, raise your testosterone, boost your immune system, you would be like, yeah, man, but it's gonna probably make my pecker stop working and all my hair fall out, right? Or maybe end up with one of those sucked in big teeth faces like those people that pop Ozempic like Tic Tacs. There has to be side effects with something that can do all that. And I bet I'm gonna have to sell a kidney to be able to afford it. Nope, zero side effects, and it's free. You would take that shit every day without question. Well, it turns out it is even easier than a pill, and you all have access to it already. It's sleep. Turns out, sleep is some pretty powerful shit. Sleep is as important to your body as annoying people is to vegans. It very likely could be one of the most important parts of optimizing your health and performing at your best. In the name of science, and to make sure all of you subpar sleepers out there are living your best life, we are going to test out 5 popular sleep hacks and check out the data from my Oura Ring to see if they are legit or bullshit. Personally, I've never been one of these negative sleep guys, these guys that say you can sleep when you're dead and sleep is for the weak. I've always felt best on about 7 or 8 hours, so I'm a fan of sleep. But then I saw this Joe Rogan podcast, and I know, surprise, surprise, the guy with the beard, bunch of tattoos, likes Joe Rogan, just get over it. It was with a guy called Dr. Matthew Walker. He was the guest. He is a British author, scientist, and professor of neuroscience and physiology at Berkeley. Basically, the GOAT of sleep, the guru of sleep. This guy knows more than anybody else in the world about sleep. It was super eye-opening just how crazy important sleep is. You should definitely check out the episode if you have some time to listen to it or watch it. Tons of great info. But let me hit on a couple of the quick points that made me lose my fucking mind about sleep. 1, after being awake for 16 hours straight, your performance is decreased by as much as having a blood alcohol level of 0.05. Bear in mind, 0.08 is a legal limit. After 20 hours, you are as impaired as if you were legally too drunk to drive. Drowsy driving causes more deaths than drinking and drugs combined. I know, mind-blowing. Sleep deprivation will kill you quicker than food deprivation, which makes sense when I think about it, but still a crazy fact. 6 hours or less of sleep reduces your time to physical exhaustion by 30%. Less sleep can actually increase the amount of a hormone called ghrelin, I think I'm pronouncing that right, which signals your body to be hungry. So when you're tired, you eat more, probably gonna gain weight. Short sleep increases your risk of all-cause mortality. One study, they gave people only 4 hours of sleep a night, and they saw a 70% reduction in natural killer cells, which are the cells that target the malignant cells your body just naturally produces every day, which is one of the reasons that low sleep can predict cancer chances to increase. For you guys that try to stay fit, this one will really make you shit your pants. Men that only get 5 to 6 hours of sleep can have a testosterone level of a man 10 years older. That's freaking bananas. Something else that will make you look 10 years older than you really are is not taking care of your skin. So let's take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Tiege Hanley. Come on. That segue was slicker than P. Diddy's lube collection. Too soon? Tiege makes skincare systems designed specifically for guys just like you and me, and the earlier you start taking care of your mug, the better off you're gonna be. I have talked about Tiege on this channel for probably 5 or more years now, and I was using it for a solid year before I ever had a relationship with the company because I really like the stuff, and I use it myself every single day. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. You've got a face wash to clean you up, an exfoliating scrub to knock off all the dead skin, an AM moisturizer with 20 SPF to protect you from the melanomas, and a PM moisturizer. They also include a card with instructions on how much to use and when to use it. Being a member also has cool benefits like 20% off retail price, ability to customize your box, exclusive deals, pause or cancel at any time, and free shipping in the US. Because the good folks at Tiege Hanley are sponsoring this video, they are offering my viewers a great deal. So just click on the first link in the description and you will get 40% off your first box, 20% off for life, plus a free gift. That's a hell of a deal. So click on the link down below and get started. Guys, Tiege is one of the longest partners of the channel, so big thanks to them for sponsoring us for so long and supporting the channel. Give those guys a little love down below. Now, the hacks we are gonna test out today, we're calling hacks for lack of a better term. They are kind of extra things you can do to make sure you are optimizing your sleep. But there are also some general habits like not eating a couple hours before you go to bed, not drinking alcohol, no taking late naps, no caffeine near bed. These are all general rules to follow that will aid you in your journey to achieving ultimate Chad sleep status. If you have done any searching around on the old internet about sleep, you are bound to have heard a little something about magnesium. Magnesium is pretty universally hailed by the science and wellness community as a great supplement to enhance relaxation and sleep. The downside is if you take the wrong kind of magnesium, you're going to wind up snoring out the wrong end and spray painting your toilet, because some forms of magnesium relax you and help you sleep, while other forms have more of a laxative effect. May not be convenient at the wrong time. There are more forms of magnesium than there are people with pink hair enrolled in gender studies at your local college. So here is a quick little list of what the different magnesiums are generally recommended for. And on top of the extensively long list of recommendations, to make things more confusing, there are some supplements that kind of do blends of different magnesiums in them. On top of that, well, these are the generally accepted recommendations. There is some flub in that also. For instance, magnesium threonate is generally thought to be for cognition and memory, but I've also heard of people using it for sleep. Clear as mud, right? All that being said, magnesium glycinate, I think I'm saying that right, it could be glycinate, is pretty universally agreed to be one of the best for relaxation and sleep, so that's what we'll be using for this test. Two of these, if I can read this because my eyes are shit these days. Two of these recommended dose is 160 milligrams, says to take them with a meal, so I'll pop these tonight after dinner and we'll see how she goes. All right, so after the last couple days, let me give you a couple recommendations. Magnesium, at least this particular one I took, is not meant to be taken right before bed like some other sleep supplements, but more as a daily supplement. The directions actually say to take it with a meal. I tried this for a few days to make sure this wasn't just a one-off for me, but I definitely need to take it with food as suggested. When I took them later at night, like before bed, and it had been a while since a meal, it caused what I would say intestinal issues. You know that feeling where you're like, I definitely shouldn't trust this fart? Like that. However, when I took it with food as recommended, I didn't notice the issue. That could just be my stomach, but I figured it'd be worth mentioning before we went over scores. Okay, so for the actual data, with the magnesium, my sleep score was an 84, which is definitely at least average, if not above average for me. I had a total sleep of 6 hours, 51 minutes, time in bed, 7 hours and 25 minutes. With these total sleep and time in bed numbers for all this, because I don't sleep the exact same amount every single night, don't pay as much of attention to the actual number of total sleep or the actual number of time in bed, but more the relation between the total sleep and the time in bed. The ratio there is really more important than the number itself. Clear as mud, right? Resting heart rate of 57, which is, I would say a little better than average for me. We had an efficiency of 92%, so that's definitely better than average for me. Restfulness was good, didn't wake up a lot. I would say that's above average for me. REM sleep was 1 hour, 39 minutes. Deep sleep was 1 hour, 1 minute. Both, I would say slightly above average. And latency was only 12 minutes, which is way above average for me. So I would say this worked relatively well. A little better than average to far better than average on some scores. And other than the slight risk of your ass doing an impression of the fountains out front of the Bellagio, I would say it's for sure worth it. It's relatively inexpensive. It's not known to really have any long-term side effects. It's something you can safely take pretty much daily. Helped out my scores. As long as you don't have the little bit of the stomach issue I had with taking on an empty stomach, I'd say magnesium for the win. Now, next up on what we're gonna test out, good old melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone naturally produced by your body, mostly by your pineal gland. And it plays a big part in regulating your circadian rhythm and your sleep cycles. So, stands to reason, if you take a little some of that exogenously, exogenous, is that the word? I think that's the word. If you take some of this, it should help you sleep. It's been used to help blind people with circadian rhythm issues. Circadian rhythm has a lot to do with light and dark, and obviously if you're blind, that can get really messed up. So it's been used to help those guys. One of the big recommendations we hear a lot is for jet lag. It helps you get back in your rhythm when you're traveling over time zones and your circadian rhythm can get messed up. People who work night shifts or have to do changing shifts, occasional bouts of insomnia, anything like that. Pretty universally agreed to be helpful for sleep, with the caveat of it's better for short-term. Long-term use can decrease its effectiveness, mess with your body's natural production of it. It's not something you should really take every day unless maybe your physician tells you otherwise. More of an aid to get you back into a good rhythm. I got these at Costco. These are some 5 milligram gummies. Unlike with the magnesium, melatonin you are supposed to take within about 30 minutes to an hour of when you're gonna go to sleep. I'll take one of these bad boys tonight and we'll see how we do. Well, without a doubt, melatonin does make you feel sleepy. Feel the chill just kind of slowly settling in. For a second, I actually kind of reminded me, I thought maybe I'd eaten the wrong kind of gummy.
How high are you?
Hi, how are you?
No, I said, how high are you?
Hi, how are you?
So let's take a look at the actual numbers, how the old melatonin did on the score sheet. According to this, not too well, actually. The overall score was 75, which is okay, but honestly a little bit below average for me. Total time sleep was 7 hours, 42 minutes. Time in bed was 9 hours and 19 minutes. Pretty big discrepancy there. Resting heartbeat was 61, which is okay, a tad high. Sleep efficiency, 83%. Not fantastic, not horrible, but not great. Restfulness was just fair, so that means I kind of tossed and turned a little bit at night. This, which you would have thought would have made you the sleepiest, there was some of that, so I don't know. REM sleep was 1 hour, 36 minutes, and deep sleep was only 54, so not fantastic. And latency was 32 minutes, so one of the longer amount of times to actually fall asleep. So even though it made me sleepy, by the numbers, it didn't do fantastic. So it's hard to interpret this, but according to the numbers, melatonin, not fantastic. At least not for me. For you, it might be different. I'm just giving you the data. So for me, at the end of the day, I could definitely see where melatonin has a place. If your sleep is off schedule, you're doing shift work, you're traveling time zones, I think it could definitely help you get your normal sleep cycle back on track. But if your sleep is fairly normal, I don't think it's very good for that. My sleep didn't really change all that much. It didn't really get that much better. Probably the worst performing of the hacks we've done. And with the potential side effects of being sleepy the next day, things like that, potentially messing with your natural production of it, I just don't think it's worth it. But short term, get you back on track, could definitely see where it might help. Next up, well, even if it doesn't work, let's be honest, who doesn't like a nice hot shower? I mean, let's be serious. A hot shower is more relaxing than that sketchy massage you got from that 24-hour massage parlor. I mean, what feels better than getting out of a hot shower, getting in a nice clean bed, a clean bed with nice, fresh, crisp, clean sheets? But there is some science behind why a hot shower should make you sleep better, not just because it feels good. Like that massage. According to some folks that are much smarter than your boy here, your body actually needs to cool itself down a little bit in order to fall asleep. Well, hold on a second there, Bill Nye the Science Guy. If your body needs to cool down, how the hell is a hot shower gonna help? Seems counterintuitive. I was also a little perplexed, so let me try to clarify. From what I understand, the hot water actually sends messages to your brain that your skin is hot, which then triggers your body to do some sciencey shit like dilate blood vessels and other things in order to drop your internal temperature down. Conversely, a cold shower would do the opposite to help wake you up. I know, weird, but people way smarter than me figured this shit out, so I'm gonna go with it. Supposedly, for all this hot shower, cool you off, wizardry, Hogwarts science shit to happen, you need to take your shower about an hour or an hour and a half before bed. Tonight, we're gonna steam this bitch up and see what we get. Easily my favorite so far. Like I mentioned, it just feels good to take a hot shower before bed, regardless of any biohacking nonsense going on. Also, it's free, it's easy, and pretty much available to everyone, and it doesn't require you to take anything, which I like. Overall, on this night, I got a score of 80, which is good. I took a little bit of a hit because of timing. I went to bed kind of late that night, and it detracts from your score if you don't stay within your window, but the other stuff was really, really good. The total sleep was 8 hours and 5 minutes. I got a total of 1 hour and 48 minutes of REM sleep, a total of 1 hour and 19 minutes of deep sleep, which those are kind of your restorative sleep numbers, and had 86% sleep efficiency. The latency was 30 minutes, so that wasn't fantastic. Also had a resting heart rate of 59 that night, so that's nice and low for me. I had very low on the sleep disturbances. So I felt great, I really enjoyed it, it felt good, and overall numbers wise, it was, I would say for me, an above average night of sleep. So for me, this one is a no-brainer. I'm doing this from now on for sure. It feels great, seems to make a pretty good difference in how I slept, definitely more hygienic, and your wife will appreciate sleeping next to you when you're all fresh and clean. Okay, if I'm being honest, this one is one of the ones I have some doubt on. I'm not much into the woo-woo. Rub some sage on your taint and find your inner peace. It's just not my thing. But with claims of it having a calming effect, helping you relax and unwind, I even saw some literature that claimed it improved the actual quality of the sleep in some clinical studies. At the end of the day, it's also free, it's easy for anyone to try. It has zero negative effects other than possibly feeling a bit like a twat sitting there trying to embrace your inner woosah or whatever the hell those people do. With all that, I'm gonna keep an open mind and give it the old college try. So I'll be using a guided meditation session included on the app inside the Oura Ring. So let's see if it can help me forget how bad I hate everything, maybe quiet those voices in my head, make them stop yelling at me for a few minutes, and get my inner Buddha on. Buy me some Lululemon and call me Amber, because I'll be damned if the meditation wasn't probably tied for my favorite with the hot shower thus far. The guided meditation was super relaxing. You could pick a background sound, you could make it sound like rain in the background, white noise, pink noise. There was a few different things you could kind of have as the background. The person that was doing the guided meditation had a really nice, soothing voice. They walked me through some breathing exercises, kind of walking down and like relaxing all the different parts of your body. It was super enjoyable and relaxing, I'm not gonna lie. And I was really sleepy by the time it was done. Maybe the hippies got something. If we look at it by the numbers, I'll be damned, it was one of my best sleep scores. I got an 86 this night. We got 6 hours and 58 minutes of sleep. We're in bed for 7 hours and 25 minutes. Had a sleep efficiency of 94, resting heart rate is 60. A little above average for me, but close. But 86 is a killer score. That's actually probably one of the best scores of this test. Efficiency was 94%, which also I think was one of the highest scores of the test. Restfulness was good. I didn't have a whole lot of waking up throughout the night. Had 1 hour and 40 minutes of REM sleep, 1 hour 29 minutes of deep sleep, which again, I think was one of the closest scores, and a latency of 8 minutes, which again, I wanna say that most of these are some of the highest of any of the scores I've done. Than with the melatonin, better than with the magnesium. I wanna say this might be the king by the numbers at least. This was maybe the most effective. Now the latency at 8 minutes, let me explain. I didn't account for the 15 minutes I was doing, the 10 to 15 minutes I was doing the guided meditation. The 8 minutes is from the time I stopped the meditation to the time I actually fell asleep. So I fell asleep, once that meditation was over, I was out pretty damn quick. Like I said, maybe the hippies have got something. Pair this up with a hot shower and I think you have a pretty winning damn combo, and it's free. I think one of the things that also helped me particularly about this is it helped me block out some of the noises that normally irritate the shit out of me when I'm trying to fall asleep. I mean, like, put me into a rage, and then when you're angry, obviously it's very hard to fall asleep. Noises like the dogs incessantly licking and smacking their lips. You know how loud dogs smacking their lips is at night when it's silent? It drives me nuts. Or the symphony of them and my wife all snoring in unison. It really helped block all that out and help me get relaxed, which I think helped a lot. Hot shower, guided meditation, for sure, both in my routine going forward. All right, last and well, probably the one that I'm least looking forward to testing. Sleeping naked is another one of those things I've seen multiple times all over the interwebs. Hell, I even saw an article on WebMD claiming that sleeping naked is good for everything to better sleep, weight loss, to better fertility and sexual health. I mean, apparently sleeping naked is the fucking miracle cure. I have my reservations. I know that staying cooler is proven to help you sleep better. All I sleep in is a pair of underarm boxer briefs, and those babies are super thin and breathable. I can't imagine going full Monty is really gonna move the needle much with cooling me off. But in the name of science and to test these hacks for you guys, your boy is gonna brave a night's sleep with nothing covering his twig and berries, just everything out there flopping in the breeze. It's not gonna be good, but we'll test it and see if it's BS or not. Okay, let's just start this out by saying even if the sleeping naked would have worked, which it didn't seem to make a huge difference, but even if it had, this is a hard no for me, dog. This is a hard pass. First, I felt super exposed. I just wasn't comfortable. Also, and possibly most importantly, I have kids. Imagine the mental scarring that would occur if one of my kids were to come into my room in the morning to tell me something or whatever, and there's dad laying just hog out full tent pole.
No. Wait.
There is no amount of therapy that would ever repair that kind of damage, ever. Scarred for life. Also, and maybe this is just me being weird, but it seems to put you at a bit of a disadvantage if you're woke up in the middle of the night with like an emergent situation of some kind. Kids crying, something happens, fire, there's a noise in the house, you think somebody's breaking in. Although, now that I think about it, I guess there is nothing scarier to a burglar than a fully naked man with a partial erection holding an AR-15. That's just, I would bail. And I know some of you guys are all about the sleeping nude, and if it works for you, that's fantastic. I'm happy for you. The numbers also don't really support any reason for it, for me at least. Let's just look at that real quick. So for this night, we had a 75, which is average-ish, probably a little below average for me. Total time in bed was 7 hours and 19 minutes. Total time of sleep was 6 hours and 19 minutes. Sleep efficiency was 86%, which is probably average or a little bit below average for me. Restfulness was actually down, and that's probably honestly because I was rolling around uncomfortable at night because my dong was rubbing sheets and it just felt weird. I didn't like it, I was uncomfortable, so I probably didn't sleep well, which is why it affected my restfulness. My resting heartbeat was also a little bit higher than average, so that also could be just general anxiety from feeling very exposed. Didn't really like it. REM sleep was hour and 25 minutes, which is normal for me. That's about right, if not maybe even slightly better, but about normal. Maybe that's because of the nakedness. It was getting those good dreams going, you know what I'm saying? Deep sleep was 1 hour, which is probably about right, and latency was 22 minutes, which was about average. So at the end of the day, sleeping naked didn't move the needle much for me, other than making me feel uncomfortable, so I will not be adding this one to my routine under any circumstances. To sum up our little experiment here for all you folks with the ADD out there, my favorites by far have been the shower and the guided meditation. Zero bad side effects, free, easy, and had some pretty objectively positive benefits. Next up, magnesium. It definitely did seem to help. The numbers supported that. We actually saw some data that I did sleep better with the magnesium. Seems to get high praise from a lot of reputable sources. Just test it out and see how you feel and watch for possible digestive issues. The Bellagio effect, as I like to call it. Although I'm sure for the most of you that won't be an issue. And then the melatonin. This one's kind of tricky because it definitely made me sleepy, and in certain situations I can for sure see where it could help if you were out of rhythm, traveling, and the stuff they generally recommend it for. But for me, I didn't see a huge impact in the numbers, and for some of the side effects that you could possibly get from it, maybe for certain situations it could definitely help, but definitely not something I would do all the time. And then the sleeping naked, hard pass. Hard pass for me, dog. I'm out on that. All right, folks. Well, hopefully you guys did enjoy this one. Maybe you got some good information. Hopefully it will help some of you out there potentially get a better night's sleep. Definitely try some of these things out and see how they work for you. I'm telling you, for me, it's the hot shower, guided meditation combo, man. All right, folks, well, this has probably already been a super long one, so we're gonna wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to smash that like button. That always helps us out. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. We'd love to have you on board. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week, and we will see you in the next video. Yeah, dude, sleeping naked. I like a little security in that region, you know what I mean? I like a little bit of like I said, imagine if the kids came in, those poor children. There's not enough money for the amount of therapy it would take. First thing you see in the morning is dad hog.